here.
I'm
There we are. And
yes.
we are live. Good
Oh my God.
morning, good
Good morning.
evening, good afternoon, good day. Just depends on where you are and when you are watching this broadcast. Hopefully, you're watching us live this morning. Just want to say thank you, and welcome for tuning in to Lyonsview Realty Financial Fridays.
Mm-hmm.
We here at Lyonsview Realty, we are committed to ensuring that you have the resources, the information, and the tips to assist you in making the best personal and financial decisions. And we want to help you maximize your wealth building power now and in the future. So, Financial Fridays is here to help you stay current on those trends that impact your bottom line. I'm really excited. You can stream us on YouTube or Facebook. Please be sure to like and share this broadcast because we're going to have some really great information today. So I am excited to introduce our special guest today, Miss Marsha Townsend.
Morning, evening, nighttime,
Say good day, good day,
depending
good.
on where you're at in the world.
That's right. That's right. Because this is a worldwide conversation.
Mhm.
It's really interesting because I met Miss Marsha. Wow, pre-COVID
Yeah.
actually. Yeah. So it's been a few years, and she is a mortgage professional. As you know, we have the series "Show Me the Money."
Yes.
And I'm always excited when new products and new information becomes available. So, Marsha, just take a few minutes and introduce yourself. Tell people who you are. Maybe a little bit about yourself. Before we came online, we were talking about plants, and
Yes. Yes. I don't have the green thumb. My husband have that thumb.
I don't either. So
Yeah,
I'm
but
right there with you. But
I'm learning. Well, I'm Marsha Townsend, and I am with Legacy Home Loans, and we're the largest African American company, in the industry.
awesome.
And our founder, Ben Slayton, is actually an amazing story if you ever look him up. And he was the first African American realtor. So back before you had to be sponsored into the, MLS.
I met him. I
You
met him at a NARAB conference. Yes.
Yes,
I
he
had
achieves a
an
lot of
a little
things.
photo shoot with him. It's an amazing story. You are so
He's a wonderful person.
wow. I
And
didn't
then,
realize that this was his company. So this is awesome.
yes, but he's one of five. So he's under like an umbrella of five mortgage companies. So he's just had the history over the years of, doing wonderful things. And now this is, giving back to our community. Um, but just know where he started from to where he is today with no excuses. Like it's just exciting to help our homeowners to whatever the excuses, we can overcome it. If he can do it, we could do it.
Right. Indeed.
So we have pretty much the same products, but we do have our own product, 1% down. It's called Closing the Gap.
Hmm.
So if your credit score is 620, you can put 1% down, and you do have, that option to get a grant for the closing costs.
Okay.
So there is a few things that is covered as part of the closing costs, like your appraisal, your pre-counseling or post-counseling, your title insurance. And one good thing about it is, our community has some complicated underwriting situations sometimes.
Yeah.
So it takes away the stress just from running into people, how are your underwriters? Well, our underwriters just look at your file and they make a decision based on that,
Okay.
not based on you as, how everyone will say
Right.
your color. So, but we do have like regular programs, conventional, 3% down. We do go
Hmm.
down to 580 with FHA
Okay.
if with 3.5% down.
Hmm.
If your credit score is a little less than 580, we do have some programs for that, but of course it's 10% down.
Hmm.
We do manual underwrite. So, for example, you don't have a credit score, we do those as well.
Okay.
And then I'm a little bit different. Not all lenders know how to do credit repair.
Hmm.
So, me personally, I know how to do that. So, if you came to me with a difficult situation, we can work through that to get you still to approval.
Wow.
We also have like many different down payment programs to help you out, not just the state ones, but there is one that we use that is national. So, and that credit score is 600. Most down payment credit scores is 620 and up. So you
Right.
can get your down payment covered, not the closing cost necessarily, but the
Right.
down payment.
So the
With
national one, what's the amount of the down payment, and is it a grant program or is it a repayable program?
it's They have two. There's a repayable one and
Mhm.
there is a non-payable one where it's forgivable and you live in the house, for the number of years as the other grants have.
Mhm.
And that one, same thing, 600 credit score.
Ah,
Now, we are dealing with like the local county grants, like they have their own programs.
mhm.
But what everyone have to realize is when you're using a down payment program, a lender is limited as to what they can lend and what kind of property you can buy
Mhm.
because we have to follow their guidelines as a down payment program.
Gotcha.
So you can get 5% for one of them and you can get a 3.5% help for one of them.
Gotcha.
So you can still use your own funds. I tell everyone, go to your employer. You'll be surprised. Your employer helps you out.
Yeah.
There is different programs for each state, each county. But
Mhm.
my go-to is downpaymentresources.com. And
Yeah.
you plug in your information specific to you, and it will actually give you all the grants that's available for
Yeah.
that county.
Yeah. I actually have that link in the write up. That
Hmm.
people need down payment, and like you said, it doesn't matter what state you are in.
Hmm.
Each state has a program, and they'll tell you, all of the programs that are in your area for
Hmm.
down payment assistance. I wanted to go back to the 1% program. So is it? You said the max is up to 3.5% or 5% for that
So,
program.
so that's a conventional program that Fannie Mae, if anybody knows, that's
Mhm.
the guidelines that most people go by, and you have Freddie. But
Mhm.
they offered a 3% loan. They have that there,
Mhm.
but you only have to put 1% down. So your lender can contribute the other portion. So you're 2%. So it's technically 3%. You do one, lender does two. Then you have your closing costs,
Mhm.
which is also, it's like a community funds lending, if anybody's ever heard of that. So you do get up to like $7,000 to cover
Wow.
your closing costs. Now the thing is, a lot of people ask me, well, can I combine another grant with this program?
Mhm.
No, this is its own program.
That's a lot of money because,
It still
you
is,
could,
yes.
yeah, is there a cap on the amount, the purchase price of the property? Because 3%.
It's strictly, Fannie guidelines, whatever their loan limits are for that county that you're buying. So we go similar to, their guidelines, conventional guidelines,
Mhm.
and it's same, nothing, nothing fancy. It's just that you get the 1% out of your funds, and then
Mhm.
you get the 2% help, and then you get the grant for the 7,000.
That's a game changer for a lot of
It
people.
is.
It really is a game changer. I got an offer this morning. I got some other offers where buyers are starting to ask for seller concession again.
Hmm. Now,
Um,
do you see that coming back into play? Because I haven't seen it for a while.
yeah, I've had a couple of offers where the person did request a seller assist, and a few months ago that wasn't happening.
Yeah.
Those offers weren't even being considered. But this would
Hmm.
be a game changer for those clients because it makes them more competitive with other
Yeah.
clients who, a lot of people in this market have sold their homes, so they have a very strong, if not total cash position that they're coming forward with.
Hmm.
So, this kind of levels the playing field a little bit more
It
for people.
does.
Yeah.
It does.
For,
Now, the only, normally with like the down payment, let's say, for example, PHFA
Mhm.
or New Jersey home seeker, the house have to be in that census tract,
Mm-hmm.
that area for eligibility.
Correct.
This is different. You have to actually live in that census tract and you can buy anywhere.
Huh.
So
So
this is
I can,
reverse.
oh, okay.
Yes.
So can
Yeah.
you also buy in your census tract so you have the option of either or?
Yes, you can. You can buy anywhere as long as where you currently live, that
Is in the
address is in
tract.
that census tract. So we do use the tool, put the address in where they live, and that will
Mhm.
let us know if they fit that
If
1%
you
gap program.
qualify. Awesome.
So we're
And
trying to close the gap,
it's
not
amazing.
to say anything, in a negative content, but
Yeah.
the majority of minorities, they don't really think about home ownership. They think it's far reach for them. And this really opens the door to let them realize you can buy.
Mm-hmm.
You just need maybe somebody to hold your hand to get you there.
Through the process. Indeed.
Someone to
Indeed.
help you be accountable. Even with your tax refund, there's a lot of people that can, actually buy just not realizing it.
Mm-hmm. That they can use their tax refund to assist with
Yes.
that.
Yeah,
Awesome.
there's a lot of different things you can use, not just down payment programs, but sometimes your school gives you housing as
Mm-hmm.
part of that extra money with your school.
Mm-hmm.
So you can use that as well.
Wow.
There's a lot of different options. I would say, when you're speaking with, whether it's myself or another loan officer, just ask them what are all the options that you know. Now,
Mm-hmm.
not all loan officers will know all these options, but I love finding everything out about mortgages and for clients because when I bought my home, I was 25 and I came from Trinidad. So
Mm-hmm.
I just was so excited. Wow, I didn't even know I could buy a home at
Mm-hmm.
25,
Mm-hmm.
So for us, we had my in-laws because my family's still there, but we told them, okay, this is our mortgage. We knew we were going to spend money. So we would give them every paycheck that money to hold. And we would say, no matter what, don't give it to us. This is for the house.
Wow.
So sometimes you need somebody else to
To
help you.
help you out.
Yes. So
Yeah.
that's what we did back in our day.
Mm-hmm.
And then we did a community pool funds.
Mm-hmm.
Like they call it a susu, or maybe a whole family can get together
Mm-hmm.
and pool money together and take turns.
Mm-hmm.
Community funds, you could do that. So
Yeah.
that's what we used.
Wow.
You
This
know,
is this is really awesome because I think one of the things I really appreciate about you, Marsha, is that you're so knowledgeable about what's
well,
available.
thank you.
Yeah, in terms of resources. And I find that most people, the lenders are kind of, one stop,
Hmm.
whatever they're doing, they don't really search for the best products
Right,
for their clients. And so
right.
that's, and sometimes I don't even know about it. I was talking to an agent this morning about, a particular product that they weren't aware of,
Hmm.
that would help with their offer.
Right.
And it's like the knowledge base is really not there, which is why we have this program,
Hmm.
Financial Fridays, Show Me the Money, because
Yes.
people need to know as much as possible. We want as many people as possible to achieve the dream of home ownership. And,
Hmm.
that's like the number one way to build wealth in
Yes.
America is by owning property. And,
Yes.
they're not the percentage of people who are actually homeowners and the percentage of people of color who are homeowners is, 50% and below.
Yes.
So we want to increase those numbers and we want to increase the numbers for everyone to be in a position to own property. And
Right.
I went to an event um, of investors last evening.
Mm.
It was really interesting because uh, I was talking with a gentleman about, um, he wanted to buy a property probably a few years ago. He was
Hmm.
trying to convince his wife to do it, and she was like, "No, no, 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 no." And that property has appreciated in value from the time
Wow.
they looked at it, to now they're just like kicking themselves. And he's saying,
Yeah.
but I tell people now is always buy what you can afford now because
Yes.
even though there are ups and downs in the market,
Hmm.
properties appreciate. It's a finite
It
asset.
does.
You
It
know,
does.
there's only so much of it and it increases in value over time. So,
Right. And
yeah.
there's, what I tell clients, some of them say, oh, I'm scared to buy. I'm scared to buy. If you're living with family, it's not scary if you have a setback and you miss, the meal for the month with the family. That's not a big deal. But when you're renting, I'm not saying everybody must buy, because you have to pick your own, I would
Journey.
say, stress level,
Yes.
right? For
Yeah.
some people, renting is very stressful. For some, they love it because they don't have to fix anything. But if something happens and you can't pay that rent, you're quicker to be on the street than if you owned your house. Because the mortgage company, they don't want your house. They just want to work with you. So
Mhm.
it's safer to own a home than it is to rent a home, because your landlord don't want to hear your struggle. They want that payment.
Right.
The mortgage company, they'll work with you. As long as you keep an open communication, they'll
Right.
work with you.
Right. Communication is so key, not to stick your head in the sand. And a lot of times people call me when it's too late. And it's like,
Yes.
at the worst case scenario, if we can sell the property and put some money in your pocket so
Mm-hmm.
prepare for the next transition. Or there's a lot of, you know, if you are in communication, there's a lot of opportunities to be in a better position. I worked with one client, um, and they were going through a divorce. And
Mm-hmm.
I was like, they were struggling, and I was able to get them into a modification for the property,
Mm,
made it so much easier financially.
right.
Then, uh, they were able to hold on longer, got through the short sale period because we didn't short sell the property, but the market changed. And they
Mm,
were able to not only sell their property, but sell the property and walk away with money.
wow. That is awesome. That
Yeah,
is awesome.
yeah. So
'Cause
there's so many things
I,
to like, reach out to your real estate professional,
yes.
um, and they should be able to assist you. If they can't, call me. I'm always willing to give people information, even if we're not working together, because I want people to be able to not only purchase their properties but
Mm-hmm.
sustain themselves in home ownership. Marsha does also credit counseling and repairs.
Mm-hmm.
If that's an issue for you, you can reach out to her about that as well to get prepared, to make that next change. So, do
Mm-hmm.
you have any products for investors?
Yes, we do. The biggest one is the DSCR program, is where, you have your down payment, depending on your credit score,
Hmm.
but there's no income. You don't have to be employed. We just look at, does that rent cover the mortgage, and do you have, that emergency, which funds, which they call reserves, that you have that, whether it's the 3 to 6 months, depending on your property. But I do have a lot of, clients buy that way.
Okay.
Now, I also have a lot of first time clients that do multifamily. That is another way to get started. The word they call is house hacking. So,
Yeah.
they buy the 4 units and they down, and, 3 unit, 2 unit, 1 unit.
Yeah.
So you can be a first time home owner and buy that way and start your investment portfolio.
Indeed.
Um, you can also, be a tenant and buy an investment property, or live with family. There's no, thing that says you must be a first time home buyer all the time.
Mhm.
So if you want to start your portfolio that way, but most of the investors are doing DSCR. The rates is competitive, because it's investment.
Mhm.
But again, you just your down payment. There's no employment needed. That we're basing it off of the property, basically.
Right, the property value. And do you have any rehab type loans like the 203K or
Yes, we
or,
do.
or
Yep,
fixer
we
product?
do.
Hmm.
You can buy FHA. You can do, the home style. So yes, there's two different ones. There's, FHA. You have home style, which is mostly conventional. But yes, you do have that program as well. That you can find that ugly duckling if you have somebody. Not like myself. I would need somebody to like have eyes for me to design. But if I say, hey, this is really a good deal financially, it's in a up and coming area, but it's the ugly duckling, you can use the 203K. That works out pretty well.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. This has been really, really amazing. I brought Marsha in because of the 1% down payment, which is totally unheard of. So
Mhm.
we're 1% will get you into that property. In addition to that, you can get an additional $7,000 to assist with um, your closing costs. And
Right.
the credit score, I believe you said, was 620 minimum,
620. Mm-hmm.
which is great
Yeah.
um, for this product. So definitely, definitely, definitely reach out to Ms. Townsend. How can people contact you?
Well, my phone number there is my cell phone on the screen, 609-505-4254. Or you can text me if some people prefer to text me. You can also email me, mtownsend at myhomelegacy.com.
Awesome, awesome. Any last bits of wisdom or information that you'd like to share before um, we conclude?
Yes, I would say when you want to buy or you're thinking of buying, you're renting, you're paying someone else's mortgage. You're working hard to pay their mortgage.
Mhm.
So nothing's wrong with working hard, planning hard and smart to get your own mortgage. Because, they don't like me to say this, but one day we will pass on.
Yes.
And you cannot leave a rental property to your family and leave a legacy. That's why, the company name is Legacy Home Loans. Everything we do, we should think about the next generation, what we're leaving behind for them. So if you have family members, also what I notice is family members are passing on and leaving family members their houses, and you're just selling off these houses. Sit with your accountant and
Yeah.
see how you can keep that house in the family to generate some wealth and put it in, an account that grows that money. Don't just get rid of the hard efforts of your ancestors. And the other thing, too, I would say, if your credit is bad and you know it, everyone has credit karma these days. And if it's not like a high 663s and up, your credit score is not where it needs to be. I would say call me, because I'm not going to say go fix your credit and come back, because most of the time you don't know what to do. So let's have the consultation. If you cannot buy now, let's get you ready for the next 3 months, as long as you have a game plan and you work it. Now, if you have a setback, don't get discouraged. Just get back up, brush yourself off, and pick up where you left off, whether it's getting new employment. Um, Employment, big thing. There's a lot of people work under the table. I'm going to just say two things about that. We cannot get you a house with under the table money. You must have W-2 or 10-9. It must be documented.
Mhm.
Okay. And just a free one off. If you're working under the table and come time for you to get that Social Security, you cannot get Social Security. So you're hurting yourself now for when you're older, when you really need that money. But for the mortgage part, you can get houses with no money down. So you have USDA,
Mhm.
which we didn't mention, with their own guidelines, and
Mhm.
you have VA loans.
Mhm.
So that's no money down. But you can get the closing costs covered, and in some instances roll it into the loan, or the seller or your employer or family members can help you. So we can't do it by ourselves sometimes. Maybe families can come together and help this one, like foreigners do. They
Yeah.
come together and they all chip in,
Indeed.
and then they go to the next one and all chip in.
Indeed.
So I would just say, just stand strong, and every day do a little bit, and reach out about the programs, because it's specific to you. You can't go on social media and look up everything and think it's everybody is the same bowl, same flavor, because it's not.
Mhm.
We're all separate, and we have to get a product and a plan specific to us.
That's a really good point because I all the time people say, "What about this? What about that?" And I'm like, everyone's financial situation is different,
Yes.
so you have to sit with someone like yourself to kind of delve deep into what's possible based on what your particular situation is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, the other thing about one tip is self-employed.
Hmm.
They write a lot of things off on their tax returns,
Yes.
and it hurts them when they want to buy a house.
Yes.
So when you are ready to buy the house, even if it's a few months before, sit with your CPA.
Hmm.
And I don't want to say anything negative about doing it online with H&R Block or anything like that, but you're dealing with just answer questions. You're not dealing with a person that knows real estate.
Hmm.
And you want to let them know, I want to buy real estate. I write a lot of things off, but this time I really can't because I need to buy. I need to show more money on my tax returns.
Hmm.
So they need to sit with someone and restructure that because they do run into, they make 100 and some thousand and they're showing they make 50 at the end of it all. Everything's all written off. So
Right.
they may want to, start that conversation with their CPA.
Indeed, indeed. Wow, this has been phenomenal, phenomenal. So for those of you who
Yes.
are tuning in, definitely reach out to Miss Townsend. For those of you who are watching the replay, reach out to Miss Townsend. I hope that you all found something about. In fact, I don't hope. I know you found something of
Mhm.
value from this presentation today. It's a lot of great information, a lot of great possibilities on what's available for you
Mhm.
in purchasing a property. Um, so Lyonsview Realty, we have ESP. So we provide expertise, solutions, patience before, during, and after the sale. We assist sellers, buyers, and investors to build wealth, and real estate professionals to build careers in real estate. And so, we want everyone to have a Lyonsview lifestyle. And what is that? That's where you actualize your dreams into reality. It's what is possible, what's available when your life is in order, when your finances in order, when your health is in order, when your
Mhm.
spiritual mindset is in order. So I really hope that you take the information today and you use that to further your wealth building power, that you build legacy and that you use legacy loans
Yes. Yes.
in order
And
to.
Clara, because you're also awesome too. The time that I've known you, you do well. You share a lot of things with everyone, extra beyond what you should be doing. So that's awesome too.
Oh, thank you. I so appreciate that. So, I definitely believe in sharing the wealth to everyone, and I just want people to, really, 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 really live their best life. So,
Yes.
thank you, thank you, thank you for tuning
Thank
in.
you for having me too.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I hope your phone just rings off of the hook because it's a
Thank
great,
you.
great program. I'm going to be talking to you afterwards about a couple of other things before our listeners. Um, Lyonsview Realty Financial Fridays, we stream every Friday at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time live on Facebook and YouTube. So you can catch us again next Friday. But until then, keep living your best life.
Yes.
Thank you.